An observant financial analyst might spot subtle inconsistencies in the books, dismissed as paranoid, only to later expose multimillion-dollar fraud. A wife might sense a shift in her husband's behavior, branded overreacting, only to uncover betrayal months later. In both scenarios, sensitivity wasn't a flaw, it was an early warning system. So how would a Stoic respond? Marcus Aurelius said, "If someone can prove me wrong, I will gladly change, for it is truth that I seek, not victory." A person who genuinely values you will never shame your awareness. Only those with something to hide fear your perception. The next time someone says, "Why are you being so sensitive?" do not get angry. Do not defend. Look them in the eye and calmly reply, "I'm not being sensitive. I'm being observant." Does that make you uncomfortable? One sentence. Watch their mask begin to slip. Question 2. You trust me, right? Sounds gentle, innocent even. But beneath the surface, this isn't a question. It's a trap. Anyone who demands trust instead of earning it has already revealed their hand. A truly trustworthy person doesn't need to ask for your faith. Their actions speak for themselves. Day after day, consistency builds trust. But when someone insists, "You trust me, right?" they're actually saying, "Don't think, don't question. Just hand me the keys to your mind." Epictetus warned, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." Liars weaponize this truth. They use this question to shut down your curiosity, to make you feel guilty for exercising caution, to convince you that seeking proof makes you disloyal. But caution isn't betrayal, it's wisdom. Consider the business partner who avoids showing the numbers but leans in, murmuring, "Trust me," or the lover who conceals their phone, yet repeats, "Don't you trust me?" They aren't building trust, they're demanding blind faith. And blind faith is fertile ground for betrayal. How would a Stoic respond? Not with panic, not with defensiveness, but with tranquil detachment. Apatheia, the Stoic discipline of preventing emotion from overriding reason. When faced with "You trust me, right?" pause, breathe, and reply, "Trust is earned through consistency. Are you asking me to ignore my judgment?" That single line flips the entire frame, shifting the spotlight onto them, not you. A liar will stumble, change the subject, or lash out, but a person of integrity won't be offended. They'll continue to show you, through their actions, that they are worthy of trust. Remember, trust is not a gift given under pressure. It is a fortress built stone by stone, through time, truth, and consistency. A Stoic never forgets. To surrender that fortress too quickly is to surrender your peace. Question 3. Are you accusing me of something? This one is clever. It appears to be a simple question, but it's a cunning shield, designed to flip the script and put you on trial. Here's how it works. You voice a concern, you notice an inconsistency, you ask a question. Suddenly, instead of answers, you receive a sharp counterattack. Wait, are you accusing me of something now? Without realizing it, you're no longer the observer. You're the villain. The spotlight shifts from their behavior, burning down on you. This tactic forces you into defense mode. You rush to explain, you backpedal, saying things like, No, that's not what I meant." In that moment, you've lost your power. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best answer to anger is silence." But Stoic silence doesn't mean surrender. It means refusing to play the game on someone else's terms. Think of a courtroom. If the guilty can make the judge apologize, the trial collapses. That's precisely what this question aims to do. So how do you respond? With stillness, with composure. The next time someone snaps, "Are you accusing me of something?" don't rush to fill the silence. Hold your ground. Maintain eye contact. Wait 2, maybe 3 seconds, and then calmly say, "Should I be?" It's just 3 words. But those 3 words flip the pressure back where it belongs. They pierce the mask because liars expect panic. They never expect power. In real-world examples, A boss confronted about missing funds responds, "Are you accusing me of stealing?" A partner questioned about secrecy replies, "Are you accusing me of cheating?" In both instances, the goal is the same: to transform your search for truth into an attack you must defend. But the Stoic refuses to be baited. He knows that truth does not panic, and wisdom does not apologize for observation. Remember this: the one who asks, "Are you accusing me?" often reveals more than they realize. Question 4. Would I ever lie to you? This one is poison wrapped in velvet. It sounds tender, almost wounded, as if you've insulted them simply by harboring doubt. But ask yourself, why would someone need to ask such a question, unless they already sensed you were close to the truth? Would I ever lie to you? Is not a genuine question. It's theater. It's a performance crafted to portray them as noble and you as cruel for even imagining otherwise. It's not about honesty. It's about guilt. If they can make you feel guilty for doubting, you'll stop asking. You'll silence your instincts and hand them exactly what they want: blind trust. But the Stoics remind us, truth is never offended by scrutiny. Seneca wrote, "If it is not true, do not say it. If it is not right, do not do it." A person of integrity doesn't need to convince you they are incapable of lying. They let their actions speak, day after day, without fanfare. Consider real life. The partner who hides messages then pleads, "Would I ever lie to you?" The colleague who dodges accountability but insists, "Come on, would I really lie?" The more they plead innocence, the more you should question what lies beneath. So how would a Stoic respond? Not by taking the bait, not by scrambling to reassure. Instead, with calm clarity. The next time someone asks, "Would I ever lie to you?" Pause, let the silence work, and then reply, "That's not the question. The question is, would I know if you did?" In that instant, you shift the power. Liars thrive in fog. They want you blinded by doubt. But your response switches on the floodlight. And once the light is on, the shadows can no longer hide them. Remember, honest people don't fear questions. Only liars do. So never confuse a performance of innocence with the reality of truth. Question 5. Can't we just move on? This is the last card in the liar's deck. The desperation play. When denial fails, when distraction fails, they turn to exhaustion. Can't we just move on? On the surface, it sounds like a plea for peace, for closure. But look deeper. It's not about resolution. It's about escape. What they're truly saying is, I don't want accountability. I don't want to face the truth. I just need you to be too tired to keep digging. And that's how many lies survive. Not because the liar outsmarts the truth, but because the truth seeker grows weary and gives up. The Stoics knew this tactic well. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Notice he never added, "unless it's inconvenient." For the Stoic, truth has no expiration date. It does not fade simply because someone wants to move on. Think of real life, a company caught in scandal. The leaders beg employees, "Let's not dwell on the past. Let's focus on the future." A spouse exposed in betrayal. "Why keep talking about it? Let's move forward." But in both cases, the plea isn't for healing. It's for silence. It's to bury what still festers in the dark. So how does the Stoic respond? Not with rage, not with endless argument, but with steady resolve. When someone asks, "Can't we just move on?" you breathe and calmly answer, "I'll move on when I understand what happened, not before." That single sentence anchors you in truth, tells the liar you cannot be rushed, that your peace is built on clarity, not on fatigue. Liars hate this because they thrive on your exhaustion. But when you refuse to surrender, when you stand calmly in certainty, their game is over. Remember, moving on is not about speed. It's about honesty. And only when the truth is faced can peace truly begin. Stoic thinking to avoid manipulation. Liars thrive on emotion. They don't need facts. They don't need logic. They only need you to lose your balance. They'll make you feel guilty for asking questions. They'll shame you as too sensitive when you notice the cracks. And when guilt and shame don't work, they'll exhaust you until you're too tired to keep searching for truth. That's the battlefield of the manipulator. Not truth, not reason, but emotion. And this is exactly where Stoicism offers a shield. Epictetus taught, "Some things are in our control, others are not." This single distinction is the foundation of freedom. When you know what belongs to you and what doesn't, you cannot be enslaved by their tactics. So when they try to guilt you, remember their feelings are not your responsibility. When they accuse you of being too sensitive, remember awareness is a strength, not a weakness. And when they try to wear you down, remember time itself is neutral. Truth has no deadline. The Stoic doesn't react at the liar's pace. He observes. He breathes. He chooses his response with precision, as if holding the sword of reason steady in the middle of chaos. Imagine standing in a storm. Winds howl, rain lashes, thunder roars, but inside you remain unmoved. That's the Stoic state of mind. Calm when others lose control. Clear when others are blinded. Because here's the secret manipulators never expect. Their greatest weapon only works if you give them your reaction. Take that away and the weapon shatters in their hands. The Stoic knows silence can be strength. Observation can be power. Detachment can be liberation. So the next time someone tries to twist your perception, don't rush. Don't panic. Simply ask yourself, is this within my control or outside of it? And with that single question, you reclaim your freedom. Calm, clear, unshakable. That's how Stoic thinking breaks every chain of manipulation. You now know the 5 dangerous questions liars use to manipulate. Each one is a move on the chessboard. Each one is a trap. But you are no longer a pawn. You are the player. The Stoic does not need to shout. He does not need to rage. He simply sits steady, gazes into truth, and lets the liar reveal themselves. Seneca, Epictetus, Marcus Aurelius, they all knew the same reality. The man who sees clearly is dangerous, not because he is violent, but because he cannot be controlled. So remember, you are not cruel for having standards. You are not harsh for seeking truth. You are not weak for noticing deception. You are awake, and in a world of shadows, the awake are feared. Choose clarity. Choose reason. Walk as a Stoic warrior, calm, observant, unshakable. If this message speaks to you, tap like, subscribe to Living Stoic, and share it with someone who needs it. And in the comments, write just 3 words. I choose clarity.